this is the bike we hit a deer on, or rather the deer hit us back in August. And we're going to attempt to make it function again. The bike does still run. The tank has a large dent. We have another tank. I'm going to straighten the bars out. The handlebar controls got messed up for the engine kill switch and stuff, and the throttle cables. We have new throttle cables and a new handlebar control module. And we're going to see if we can make it all be back together again and ride again. We also got the crash bar damaged. I don't know that we're going to mess with that right now. Got tail lights we got to fix. They're gone. But she took a nasty spill down the interstate, but we're gonna put her back together. I can't turn the bar out of the bike. I'll show you that better.
So I'm not gonna lie, I was really sad when I realized that the deer hurt my tank. Just because this tank was a hard candy color custom in green. And that was the whole reason that I liked this bike in particular, because I hadn't seen a bike in green, especially a Harley Davidson. I was really excited. We hope that I can put the green back. I do have a spare tank, so maybe one day when I get some extra money, I can take it to the powder coating shop and get it green. Here, Daniel's taking off all the accessories on the bars so that he can take the bars off.
These are the lightest, cheesiest bars. Look at this. No wonder they're only $90 new. Yeah. That's also why he folds it up so easy. Yeah, see, it's pinched here and then here.
Wait, show it again?
It's pinched here.
Wait.
And then it's pinched here. Very tricky.
Here Daniel is working on putting the handlebars back on as well as all the accessories. In 2020, Daniel was like, he knew that I wanted a new bike and he said, well, let's go look at them. So we went and picked this one up from the Harley Davidson in Atlanta. The Hellbender Harley Davidson, actually. That's what I think that one was called, after the Hellbender Lizard. So I picked this one. It was a nice upgrade after riding my little bitty Honda Rebel 250 around everywhere. But not too much power, but just perfect enough. Why are you having to take that off?
I need to get to the cables that are back there.
Oh. Is that deer here and there too?
Yeah, looks like it.
Slam the other pipes on there while you're at it.
I mean, I could.
Daniel's working on putting those throttle cables back into this right-hand control module. Believe it or not, this was the most expensive piece for us to replace through this whole process. I think this piece was like $250, $300. It was ridiculous. It was also really hard to find. Apparently, Harley dealers don't keep this in stock on the shelves or even have it at all. But yeah, that was the most expensive part. It was actually more than the tank. The tank was $210 on eBay.
So this is our first attempt to ride the Sportster after we put it back together after the wreck. So here we go.
We were riding in Wilmington, North Carolina?
Yeah.
Around the Wright brothers memorial thing. And we were on a 2-hour stretch back to our hotel. We were riding my 2018 883 Sportster 2-up. We love riding Sportsters. So this is what we have. That's what we road trip on. But anyways, it was about 8:30. We were heading down the highway. Daniel just accelerated out from a red light. And a deer. I saw a deer on the side of the thing, and I was like, Daniel, deer. And before we really had time to do anything, it was right in front of us. I remember Daniel locking down the rear wheel several times, letting off of it, going back on it, and then I guess, like you can tell, the next part of your side.
Well, I swerved left, and the deer tried to jump over us and knocked me off the bike. And then very shortly thereafter, the bike went down with her still on the back of it.
I remember just seeing the bike in front of me. It's dark, so I remember like sliding and seeing the sparks, and I like put my hands down, was laying on my back trying to stop. It's a bad idea.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. I wasn't wearing gloves. I was wearing boots and a tank top, so unfortunately most of my arm and back, upper back, got road rash. So did my hands. My knees, I'm not sure what happened, but they had really deep scarring from that. Daniel, you can tell what happened, your injuries.
I mean, just road rash, nothing like to speak of.
It chipped your teeth.
Yeah, one of my teeth got chipped. But I tucked and rolled, so I didn't get as much road rash as she did.
So after all that, luckily, we didn't get ran over. We both hopped up, and some pedestrians stopped.
Well, they weren't pedestrians, they were people in cars.
People in cars stopped. A lady was like trying to call 911. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need 911. But I guess she took a look at my knees and was like, you need 911. A nice guy came and helped Daniel get the bike out of the middle of the road. And then from there, we just waited, and the ambulance was there, what, 2 minutes?
Yeah, we were right down the road from the hospital. It was fantastic.
Yeah. And then in the middle of all that, we had heard the deer ran across at some point in time, and another person hit it in their car, truck, and they just kept on going. But we went to the hospital for our injuries. We stayed there a day. They did have to sew my knees up. That wasn't a fun experience. I had to relearn how to walk and run again, and Daniel had to go get his teeth fixed.
Yeah.
But this is the bike. We put it back together after getting it out of impound. That was $700 something to get it out of there. It was a whole mess of getting the bike back home, us back home, and then we had a truck up there too. So getting all that back home, we're very thankful for all the people that helped us with that endeavor.
Huge thank you to Brad for taking me to get the bike. It means the world to me. You have no idea.
I guess now I can show, or we can talk about what we had put back together.
So when we get the bike back from impound, and there's some other footage of this, but I'm just going to tell the whole story, start to finish, and then the other stuff will be there. But the bars and everything were all tore up, and first thing I did was try to start the bike. Wouldn't start after I charged the battery, and I flashed the codes out of it, and it had a code for the right hand control module, which is the circuit board in here with the kill switches and stuff in it. So we replaced that. We replaced the bars, hand grips, the handles, the clutch and the brake handles, throttle cables and clutch cable all got damaged. So we replaced all that, and that fixed all this. And then the tank had a huge dent in it, so we got another tank, fixed that. And the rear lights were broken off, so we got the lights and the little stands and the bolts and replaced all that. There is still some cosmetic damage. There's some scratching on the springs you can see, and the crash bar has still got a big dent in it, but that's cosmetic. It doesn't affect the riding of the bike. So we're putting miles on it again. We've put a couple thousand miles on it since the accident. So it's running and doing what it's supposed to do. Doesn't look perfect, but it doesn't need to. It's a rider. So.
And you can kind of tell this is left over. And over here, the mirrors have some rusting on them. This is the main part of the crash bar. You can tell it's all wonky, but it did save the bike. It didn't damage my fins on either side. So that was nice. There's some more rusting on the pegs.
That ain't from the wreck. That's just because it's...
Well, this end is from the wreck because it slid there. This side didn't get messed up.
The broken tag bracket is not from the wreck. That's from a dropping the bike in like Morgan and Caleb's driveway.
I did drop it once and mess that up. But yeah, here's those. This is our resurrected Harley. Thanks for all of our supporters who have liked, followed, subscribed. We appreciate it. We don't always get to all the comments, but we try. We stay busy running our shop during the day and at night working on our own stuff and trying to shoot videos. We're a husband and wife team along with our one employee, Caleb, so we try to do the best we can. But thank you guys, it means a lot.